our post-game routine. Part of it, anyways. Now we'll finish up the other part a little bit later. So we're gonna do post-game routine until 11 o'clock, and then at 11 o'clock, we're all gonna go to the 5-tool talk with Nate. Any of the talks that Nate does, I really like everybody to be part of it because he's really good. It's like poetry in motion with that guy in baseball, you know? Did you see that this morning with his talk? You know, it's really, really kind of just grabs you. So we're going to be doing that, and then after the talk with Nate, if anybody is interested in getting your skills tested, such as your 40, your exit speed with the bat off the tee, do not do the velo throw, which is one of the stations that they're going to have. They also have the shuttle timed. You're free to go and do that, and then find us later. If that stuff doesn't interest you, then you don't have to do it. You don't need to do it. If you do have a second position listed, sometimes I know that the colleges, as far as position players are concerned, they love looking at exit speed off the bat. So that could be something important if you're looking to go to that avenue as far as a dual player. Otherwise, if you're pitching, then stay here with me. How many lefties do we have anyways? 2? Perfect. Alright. On the front of the card here, you're going to see at the bottom, you're going to have post-game conditioning. We have a Saturday post-game conditioning and a Sunday post-game conditioning. How many of you guys play in tournaments on the weekends? So you have Saturday, Sunday games. Sometimes you play both games. Some days you pitch, some days you don't. This in the high school schedule is different, you know. I don't know if everybody's on the same schedule with 3 games a week. You have your tournaments. So keep in mind that all of this stuff is all just a suggestion to help you with your routine. If you don't have one, help you start a routine. So find something that works for you to get better at the game. So does anybody have a post-game conditioning routine? What do you do after you pitch? Okay. That's it. Okay. Okay. 2 pulls for every inning you pitch. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Sorry, go ahead. Okay. So you like to keep your heart rate going up. What does that help out with? Lactic acid breakdown, right? Get the blood flow going. Okay. Who here is junior, senior? How many junior, seniors do we have? Okay, good. Raise your hands again. Everybody but you, Mac. Mac is our only freshman. Good. I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. You are in for a rude awakening. If you want to play in college, when you play in college, and you get there, you are in for a rude awakening when it comes to conditioning. So here's my suggestion. Don't follow this exactly how it's laid out, but we're going to go over it exactly how it's laid out. And I want you guys to take it upon yourselves to add things to your post-game routine. So that way when you get to college and you have your first practice, your first bullpen, and now the coach all of a sudden is like, all right, run 12 pulls, do core, do jump rope, do bands. You will be better prepared for that. Okay? So the first thing, we're going to go over Saturday post-game conditioning. You can correlate with Sunday post-game conditioning as well. There are a few differences, but we're going to go over Saturday post-game conditioning. What's number 1? J-bands. Okay? We have to do the D-cell J-bands. Who has J-band exercises? Who has J-bands? Okay? Good. So that makes it a lot easier for me. J-bands, very important after you pitch. Who does J-bands before they pitch? Okay? How many how many reps per exercise are you doing? 10. Why? Okay. You got to start figuring this stuff out, right? Ask why. You ever thought about asking why? No, because coach says do it, I'm going to do it. Don't be afraid to ask why, because you're learning, right? We're learning about the game. Reps of 10 each exercise, because you want to activate the muscles. Does that make sense? Okay? Reps of 10 for each exercise because you want to activate the muscles. You want to warm them up, get that blood flow into those little muscles, which is what J-bands really work, the small muscles and the rotator cuff and the labrum mainly. Reps of sets of 10 for each exercise. Pre-throw. After you throw, how many reps should we be doing? How many do you think? Start throwing numbers out there, boys. Huh? 20. Why? Another good question, right? Don't be afraid to ask why. Don't be afraid, hey, I don't know. Tell me why. Teach me. Coach. When we do the bump plays, when we do the PFPs, why am I doing this like that? If you have a coach that says, because I said so, you need to find a new coach. You need a guy who's not afraid to teach you the game of baseball, okay? We do sets of 20 each exercise after we pitch because we want to break down the muscle, burn out the muscle. We want to break down those muscle fibers, burn them out, so that new ones can build and develop in their place. Okay? Doing sets of 10 with the J-bands, pretty easy, right? Get that nice activation. As soon as you get to that 20, what starts to happen? Around 15, you're like, all right, burning, 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 burning. Okay, good. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, sets of 20 for each exercise, post-throw. Pre-throw, sets of 10. It's just an activation thing. Okay? What's number 2? Poles. What does it say? Poles what? 4 to 6, right? So if it says poles 4 to 6, how many are you going to run? Be honest. Okay? Scratch out 4 to 6. Cross it off. Nate and I are redoing this card. We're making some changes. This is one of the things that we're going to change. Cross off 4 to 6. How many should you put down? Huh? Okay. You like your 2 per inning, but if you throw 2 innings, you're only running 4 poles. Okay. If you throw 60 pitches in 2 innings, you're only running 4 poles. But if you throw 60 pitches in 5 innings, now you have to run 10 poles, same amount of pitches, different amount of poles, right? So we want to try and keep a can't think of the word, specific number. Okay? Somebody give me the number that I'm looking for. Okay, we're closer. Huh? 12 poles, guys. 12 poles. Is there any reason why you shouldn't run 12 poles? This is about working towards your future. If you run 4 poles, what kind of a workout is that? Pretty easy, right? If you run 12 poles, how are you going to be feeling after those 12 poles? You are going to be tired. Your heart rate's going to be up. It's going to stay up. Okay? Now, next to the 12 poles, I want you to write down 3/4. 3/4 poles is what we're running, guys. I'm going to teach you how to run a 3/4 pole. Really, really effective way to run a 3/4 pole. Okay? And it probably is as simple as it sounds. But this is about keeping the heart rate up. This part, I love that you said that because I'm really big about keeping the heart rate up. Keep the blood flow pumping fast, get that lactic acid breakdown, get it out. So every field, fair pole to fair pole. So here on this field, everybody stands up real quick. Here on this field, you can see right here on the left field fair pole, 320. Where is 3/4? 375. Okay? When you start pole number 1, you will sprint from from left field fair pole to the 375. When you get to 375, you will start walking to the right field fair pole, 320. During the course of your walking, it's really important that when you guys are walking, that your hands are above your head and you're squeezing your fists. Okay? Why is that important? Okay? Close. Almost there. Okay? That's good. I like the way you're thinking right now. I appreciate your answer. You do this 100 times. What's going to happen to the blood? It's all going to be right down here in your hand. All of that old blood is going to be right down here in your hand. So we want to be up here squeezing. We're putting pressure on that, and what's going to start happening to that old blood? It's going to start feeding out of your arm, and then when you start running again, what's going to go into your arm? Right? Repair blood. Does that make sense? That's how the body works, guys. Okay? Now, when we get to 375 and we're walking to the fair pole, who has a girlfriend? Okay? You guys hold hands and walk? Yeah? Pretty nice. You're like, yeah, this is so much fun. All right. That's not the kind of walk we're doing. This is a heart rate walk. So you get to that 375, and it's a stride out. It's an arm pump. Arms are up. It's a stride out. Good, fast, hard walk because we're trying to keep our heart rate up. Okay? Everybody can sit down. Now, as soon as you get to the right field fair pole, what are you going to do?
Do it again.
You're going to turn around and head right back. This is a non-stop type of exercise. 12 3/4 poles. You get to the fair line, turn around, right back. Okay? Does that make sense? No. There and back is too. All right? Any questions so far?
You ever heard of the like sprint, jog, and then run?
Yes, I have. There's many variations that you can do, and like I said, this isn't the only way to do it. These are all just suggestions, guys, to help you improve upon. If you have a set of poles that you like to do, I have a set of post-game conditioning that I love. It's called the 4x4. Something that I created when I was in Pro Bowl, and it was what I did. I would do a 3/4 jog, 4 full poles, and then I would do a 3/4 pole sprint 4 times. Then I would do 4 half sprints 4 times, and then 4 quarter sprints 4 times. It's a 4x4. You're doing 4 exercises, 4 reps of 4 different exercises. There's so many different things that you can do, but you can't sell yourself short. You can't go out there and do 4 poles and be like, 110. All right, hit it. Good. Done. It's not going to cut it. Put in the time. This is an investment into your future. Put in the time. Make it happen. Don't accept any of this, I'll just get in the car and worry about it tomorrow. You've got to take care of it then and there. So what's after our poles? Core. Why is core important for the game of baseball? Really, not just pitching. It's very important for pitching, but what does core have to do with baseball? Huh? Stability, balance, posture, right? Okay. How many does it say to do of the core? 3 different exercises. How many core exercises are there? Too many to even think, right? What type, style of core exercises are going to be the most beneficial for pitchers? Okay, almost. Anybody else? Rotation types. Side types here. Okay, rotation types, those kinds of things. All right. Anybody know where their intercostal muscles are? Huh? Huh? Anybody? You know where your intercostal muscles are? Very, very important to know as a pitcher where your intercostal muscles are, because you want those really strong. It's rib cage muscles. Okay. Doing rotating type of movements are really important with strengthening up intercostal muscles. You ever hear of a guy go on the DL because he strained his rib cage? It happens. During the course of the season, it happens. And they're not literally talking about he strained his rib cage. He strained his intercostal muscles. So understand how important doing core is to pitching. Planks, side planks, forward planks, really good stability, really good core. I can't remember if they're Russian or Roman, but doing the twists, Russian twists. I always change the country. We're gonna do Polish twists. Let's go. Okay? Understand how important those things are. So here we've talked about 3 different things. Okay? We've talked about bands, running, and core. So now we've already added 2 things to everybody's post-game routine that you didn't have before. Okay? Put in the time. It's an investment to your future. And when you get to college, you're not going to be starstruck by how much work they do. Because it's nowhere near high school stuff. Okay? Number 4, jump rope. 100 to 500. Okay? How many do you think you're going to do if it says 100 to 500? Okay? Please cross out 500. Anybody ever tried to do 500 jump rope? Yeah, you wouldn't be here. You'd be in an MMA ring somewhere. You'd be boxing Floyd Mayweather. I'll box him for 25 million. Come on. 100 jump rope. Now, we have jump ropes here. Do you need a jump rope to jump rope? No. Okay, it's just as simple as just doing this. Right? Something as simple as that. 100 times. But we do this in conjunction with our running and our core because we're keeping that heart rate up. Right? When you're doing core exercises, does your heart rate stay elevated? Yeah, it's an anaerobic type of workout. Jump rope keeps the heart rate up. Okay? So now that's 4 things. 3 of which are newly added to your routine. Okay? Now we have number 5, stretch. Stretching. Stretching is very important. This is after we've done all of our aerobic exercises, anaerobic exercises. Now we move into taking care of our muscles. Hopefully this is an easy question, guys. I need feedback. I want this happens a couple times during the day, so I'm just thinking of the word that I need to use. I want participation. Thank you. I felt all of you sending it to me. I need participation, okay? What is the most important muscle group in your body to stretch? The legs are not a muscle group. Okay? Hamstrings. Hamstrings. Okay, we're all sitting down. Let's all find some room. Put your feet out like this. Can you touch both toes at the same time? Find some room. Stretch out your legs. Can you touch both toes at the same time? Can you touch your left to your right and your right to your left? Okay, feet together. Can you touch both toes? All about staying flexible, guys. Okay, the hamstrings, go ahead and come back. The hamstrings are going to affect what mostly? If you go to a chiropractor or you go to a physical therapy and you say, oh, you know, my back's really hurting, what's the first thing they're going to do? Stretch your hamstrings. Guaranteed. This feeds right up to your glute, right up to your back, right up to your shoulders. Your shoulders feed into your pecs, down into your biceps. You see how all of that connects? Okay? The hamstrings are the most important muscle group to stretch in your body. Keep that in mind. Okay? What's the second most important muscle group to stretch in your body? Okay? Check this out. Your forearm. Why is it so important to have a nice, loose, stretched out forearm? Stretch it, guys. Feel it. Little interaction, little participation. Okay? Why is it important to stretch the forearm? Think about the throwing motion. The last 2% of your mechanics is the most important part of pitching. And what is the last 2%? Release. Releasing the ball. See this action here? Okay? This action right here, it's gotta be loose. You gotta have control. You gotta understand how it feels when you have a baseball in your hand. Hey, I wanna throw that ball right there. That's how I do it. Ball coming off the hand. Keeping a nice loose forearm. Okay? Just a couple of muscle groups that are really important as it relates to pitching to stretch out. Okay? We can do our quads, our calves, our delts, our lats, our pecs, bicep, tricep, those kinds of things. We can stretch all that stuff out. Okay? Get a good stretch. Stay loose. Post-game mechanics, we will talk about. Hey guys, go. Here's a card for each of you.
We all.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Guys, prepared. That's nice. We're on Saturday post-game conditioning at the bottom. We're on number 6. We just did number 5, stretching. We're on number 6 now, which is post-game mechanics. I'm gonna save post-game mechanics and post-game evaluation sheet for after our break, maybe even after lunch, as far as the schedule is concerned. Yeah, I think between that 11:15 to 12:15 time, we'll go over post-game mechanics and the post-game evaluation sheet. Okay, some really cool stuff for you guys to take home after the camp and use to get better. The post-game mechanics and post-game evaluation sheet, probably the two of the things that I'm most excited to talk to you guys about. A lot of really cool stuff there. So let me see where we're at. All right, we've got 20 minutes. Okay, everybody has their glove. Okay, can somebody run down and grab me? Let's see, we need 6 baseballs. Can somebody run down and grab me 6 baseballs, please? We're gonna move on. While he's doing that, guys, stand up and stretch out a little bit. We're gonna be playing catch.